Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Itarina. We're going to make soft pretzels today. So I've got my ingredients all prepared. You can see that I have my 1 cup milk, my 3 tablespoons of packed brown sugar, my package of yeast. I wanted to point out with the yeast that I used the Quick Rise, and I read the back, and it's 110 to 115. However, I did want to show you that this Rapid Rise by Fleischmann's, I'm not sure how you say it, is 120 to 130. So please read your yeast packages. A, they expire. You want to check the date on them. And B, sometimes they have a different temperature in order to rise. So make sure that you check that out. And I cut the top off with the scissors. You have to make sure you tap them down and cut the top off so you get all of that yeast and it's not expired. I measured out 1 cup of flour, my 2 tablespoons of butter, my 2 cups of flour, and my 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm ready to go for the next step later on, which is flour for kneading. Shortening, you do want to use shortening. Shortening is made from either meat or vegetable plant protein fats, but you want to use shortening because it's high heat and it's not going to burn. So we'll put this on later with a paper towel. I've got my kosher salt for topping, my baking soda, my 3 cups water, and my shallow dish. So you can see that I'm all ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is microwave this milk in about 30-second intervals. I'm going to take my thermometer with me. Press this on, okay, and notice that it shows Fahrenheit. If it was different and shows Celsius, usually you have to push another button to change it to Fahrenheit. So that's one mistake that you could make. All right, so I'm going to go microwave this, and I'll come back to you and tell you how long that took to microwave it to get to 110 to 115. Okay, so I did 30 seconds, and then another 8 seconds, and we're varying between 108 and 113. So I'm going to pour this milk on top of my brown sugar and my yeast, okay? And I'm going to give it 1 stir, and then we're going to let it set for 2 minutes. So give it a couple stirs here just to distribute it and let it rest. And you're going to notice those teeny tiny little granules go from small, and they're going to bubble up. So I'm just trying to get them down into the milk because yeast is a live bacteria. So we're going to sit here, and I'll probably turn it off after a minute, but I wanted to talk to you about yeast. Live bacteria, if it's too cold, it will not rise. If it's too old, it will not rise or activate. It's a live bacteria, but you need to activate it. So it needs 2 things, liquid and sugar. So that's why we put the brown sugar in there, and the liquid is the milk. And it also, you could use water too. And then also the temperature of it. So we're going to sit and come back to this after a couple minutes and show you what it looks like. Okay, we're back. It's been a couple of minutes, and notice how there's large clumps of the yeast, and when it started off it was these teeny tiny little granules, and it's a larger clump. And I know you can't smell through a video, but it smells yeasty, smells fermented. Not that you guys drink alcohol, but kind of smells like a little bit like beer, because you shouldn't be drinking alcohol. All right, so give that a little stir, get that around there. And then next up, I'm going to add my 1 cup of flour. Now, as I mix this, it'll be a pretty easy mix, but it's going to get harder as I add more flour. So this is more of a sticky dough. I normally have someone filming, but Stanley's at work today, working at Walgreens. And then I'm going to add my softened butter, 2 tablespoons. I softened this in 10-second intervals. I did 10 seconds, 10 seconds, and 5 seconds. And the reason we do that, for those of you who know, is because, and you want to get all that yummy goodness out of there, so I'm going to pause it and get all that goodness out of there with my spatula. But you don't want to over microwave butter, or you're going to make it pop and snap all over the place, right? Be right back.